What's up, my brother? Welcome to Trust Me, bro. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Good, good. So made the playoffs in 4 leagues. Got bounced in two, so I'm still alive in two. How about you, brother? You made the playoffs in 3 out of 4, right?
Yep, made the playoffs in 3 out of 4. I am going on to the second round in 3 out of 4, brother.
All three. Nice.
Yep.
Fantastic, brother. That's great news,
Yeah.
man. That's good.
Yeah. One
Very
one was
nice.
just an onslaught, man. I smoked this guy like you wouldn't believe. It was like 211 to
I
like
saw that.
120 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
all your players came through for you, man. That's
that's
great.
right. That's right.
So
And then
as we get a little
I had a
further
buy.
along in the playoff, what's that? And you had a
I had a
bye?
buy another one, so that one was
Yeah.
pretty easy. I probably would have smoked just about anybody else in that one too. Um,
Yes.
and then
Yeah, same here. I had a buy, ended up, of course, going on in that one, and then ended up winning. And as we move a little bit farther along in the playoffs, I guess on our final episode we'll talk about, who our playoff heroes were and who our disappointments were. And
yep.
so right now I don't want to really jinx anything, and we'll just kind of keep our eye on the ball and keep our game
I like it.
faces on, and
Yeah,
keep moving forward here. So with
that's
uh
right.
with with players with player, you know what I mean. No reason to celebrate anything too early or to get too far in the dumps, because we still got to keep our eye on the prize here and win some trophies, right?
Yep.
All
Yes,
right.
sir,
Well,
brother.
well,
Well, cool.
but with that said, though, congratulations on
Thanks.
advancing on all three leagues that you made the playoffs in. Good job.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, I feel good about a couple of these teams, man. The other one, I feel decent about it. I've had one of those seasons where I was like the fourth highest points out of what do we have in that league? 14 teams or something like that. I
Yeah,
also have
yeah,
by far the most points against me. So I was just
uh
catching
huh,
people
yeah,
on their best weeks all season long.
yeah,
So,
yep,
watch out for that team in the playoffs, man. They might make a little run.
yeah. Hope you do, brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way the ball bounces sometimes, man. The way I look at it, brother, is it takes skill to make the playoffs and luck to win a championship.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
So
So
that's what this show's for, man. This show, if you listen to it and you pay attention to the waiver wire, you'll be able to make the playoffs. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just by being an astute fantasy player. But once you get to the playoffs, man, you're going to need some luck on your side for
that's
things
right.
to work out and keep going. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that said, we're through week 15, on to week 16, where a lot of fantasy football leagues are determining who goes to the Super Bowl. So this is make
Yes,
or break time, my brother. So
it
let's
is.
uh, let's get into some players on the waiver wire. So we're still observing the 70% threshold, and there are a few quarterbacks I think that are notable to talk about. So I'll start us off, brother, with
Yep.
Aaron
Good start.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
I got a 3-star rating on Aaron Rodgers. He looks like he finally is clicking with Devontae Adams. Better late than never, right? So week
Yeah.
15 threw for 289 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think majority of that went to Adams, didn't he? I think he had almost, I think, 198 yards. So
Yeah. Yeah. He's
I
a
mean,
couple short of 200.
dude, yeah, more than
He's
two
balled
thirds of
out.
his passing. Yeah, more than 2/3 of his passing production from Aaron Rodgers went to that one receiver. 3 touchdowns. He also rushed the ball 6 times for 45 yards, and he scored a 2-point conversion. Aaron Rodgers is 35% owned, so yeah,
Yeah.
this could be a guy to take a look at. Only 35% owned, so if you've been struggling along with Jameis Winston, or it looks like he won't even, he may have lost his starter job. So if you need a quarterback, this guy might be a good one to turn to.
Yeah, yeah, and interesting, man. I mean, they got the Rams coming up, and some of these Rams games, like the last Thursday night was awful. It was in the rain
Oh
and
yeah,
against
yeah, it was.
against the 49ers. I mean, man, that could have been worse. But some of these could turn into some shootouts.
Yeah,
With good teams, good quarterbacks going against each other. So could be an interesting matchup there. Yeah,
is
so
it
I
in
like that pick.
L.A. or New York? Do you know?
Good question. Good question. Yeah, something worth looking at.
Yeah, if it's in L.A. on a fast track, that could be a good venue for some fantasy points.
Yep.
All
Absolutely,
right.
man. Well, I'll hit you up with Drake May. I've got two stars
Okay.
on him. He went 202, one tutty, rushed for another 14 yards and another touchdown again, and then he's got Buffalo next, man. And if you look at how these last couple games have gone against Buffalo, it's been kind of a shootout. I mean, Goff just put up unreal numbers. That's what helped me get to that 211 in one of my leagues, and so
Yeah.
Drake May's not been looking bad, man. He's one of the better looking rookie quarterbacks I think that we've got in the league right now. So he's definitely somebody I think that might be worth taking a swing at if you're kind of desperate for a quarterback.
He plays for the Patriots. Is that right?
Yep,
Okay. All
yep,
right. Yeah. Yeah. 2 stars on him.
yeah.
Okay. What's the percent ownership on Drake May?
Not good, not much. Yeah,
Not
I think
much.
it's under
Okay.
20%. Yeah, he's widely
Oh
available.
yeah. Widely
Yeah,
available. Okay. Got it. All right. Next up is a name that you brought to the table, I believe, last week, Craig.
yeah.
Cooper Rush. Or no, I'm sorry. It wasn't
It was
last
2 weeks
week. It
ago.
was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, after week 13. You
Was
brought
it
you brought up, or
3
no,
weeks
actually, it might
ago?
have been
Was
after
yeah,
week 12. You brought him up. So here we are
yeah.
talking about him after week 15. Cooper Rush, 2 stars on Cooper. Um, this past yesterday on Sunday, he threw 214 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. He also rushed 4 times for only 5 yards. Only 8% owned. So 92% of the leagues out there on the Yahoo side, he's available. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
yeah,
he's moving that offense, I mean it looks better than it has for a while, so you finally get that
yeah.
running game going with Dowdle, then and I don't know if we've even got him down. I don't know what percentage ownership Dowdle is. Maybe we ought to take a peek, but I like that pick, man. I think um, I think that's probably about an average day at the office. A couple hundred yards, 2, 3 touchdowns. So you can do worse, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's finally clicking with CeeDee Lamb. So at least with
Yeah.
him, CeeDee Lamb is still playable even without Dak. So he supports CeeDee Lamb. I know Lamb had a pretty good day at the office yesterday, so he's still there's not a big drop off between Dak and Cooper Rush as far as
Right.
supporting CeeDee Lamb. So seems to be working out all right. But that's about it. I mean, I think that's pretty much the only wide receiver he can support for a fantasy basis. I don't really see the other wide receivers on the Cowboys or tight ends or really anybody except for CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
Except for like you mentioned, the running back that's fantasy relevant at this point.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. One other one worth mentioning. It's a little bit
Uh huh.
above our threshold at 72%, but
Okay.
Jared Goff is at 72% owned. So, just
Yeah.
slightly above. And, he just scored me 55 points this last weekend. They're,
Yeah. Nice.
they just lost that game. Minnesota just won. So, that number one seed is, something they're a little coveted and something they're going after. I think they're going to come out swinging next weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a good thing you brought up, Craig. I would say like any quarterback that's playing the Bills, I think is going to be in a track meet. So that's not a bad philosophy is to play quarterbacks against the Bills because their defense doesn't seem to be all that great this
Yeah.
season. They end up these 44 to 42 type games, So yeah, not a bad idea to look for quarterbacks that are playing against the Bills like Goff just did.
Yeah, I think it was Stafford actually that went against them the week prior, and they ended up beating the Bills.
Hmm. Yep.
But he went 320 for a couple touchdowns, and I think they had a few rushing touchdowns as well. So
Yeah.
he was definitely good. Goff has Chicago coming up. Chicago's defense
Okay.
is looking all right, but that's a
Right.
division game, so that could bust wide open, man. That could be an easy 303 touchdown game for him.
Yeah, sure. Let's see who the Bills are playing week 17 or week 16. I'm sorry. Let's see.
They got the Jet. No, they got the Rams. That's what we were just talking about.
The Rams. Okay. There
Yeah.
you go. Okay, so they're playing the Rams again. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
that can't be
So
right.
looking over no. Huh. Who are they playing? Oh, the Patriots. Yeah. So Drake May, the guy you were just talking about. So
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's
Yeah, I'm sorry.
so
Yeah, Drake May.
yes, Drake May he has even more appeal now.
Yep.
So, yep,
Yeah.
very good. All right, well, let's move on to running backs, Craig. It looks like you and I both like Jerome Ford. Week 15, he had 7 carries for 84 yards. Talk about efficiency there, and a
Yeah.
touchdown. He caught both of his targets for another 20 yards, and he had 117 return yards. He's only
Wow.
43% owned, and it looks like Chubb broke his foot. So
Yeah, he's
Chubb
done.
is going to be out for the season. So this backfield reverts back to Jerome Ford. So if he's out there in the waiver wire, 43%, so he's out there in 57% of the leagues on the Yahoo side. So if he's out there, go grab him, Jerome Ford.
Yeah, yeah. I think they got the Bengals coming up next. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Bengals have been an opportunistic defense. They haven't really been a run stopper. So I think there's some room to run there.
Yeah,
Against the Bengals, but they've seemed to get timely picks. Watch out for 3 picks against Jameson Winston this next weekend too. But yeah, I think Ford's a good pickup.
yep, very good. All right. Well, who else you got here, brother?
Yeah, so I've got Ty Johnson with the Buffalo
Hmm.
Bills. I seem to be out there quite a bit, man. Number 26. I got 2 stars on him. He only rushed twice for 9 yards, but caught the ball 5 times
Uh-huh.
for 114 yards.
Nice.
He seems to be getting on the field, and I think what they're trying to do, they've pretty much got the playoffs locked up. I think they're in. They're kind of fighting for that number 1 seed, but I think they want to get Cook a little bit of a rest and some kind of spell him a little bit and save him for the playoffs and not kind of run him out as much. So I do see Ty Johnson as somebody that you probably can put in there, and get some mileage out of over these next couple games.
What about that rookie that they
Ray
got?
Davis or
I know Yeah,
Davis.
Ray Davis. Yeah, Ray
Yeah,
Davis. I know I brought him to the table after week 13. He
yeah,
was only 17% owned back then, so I guess they might split carries
yeah,
if they want to give Cook a rest, at least in week 18 potentially, giving him a
yep,
rest, right?
yeah,
Okay. All right. So I wrote down Ty J Spears for the Titans.
yep,
Sharing the workload with Pollard. Kind of a similar stat line here, where he had 4 carries for only 5 yards and a touchdown, but he did catch 6 out of 7 targets for 87 yards and another touchdown. So he scored 2 touchdowns this past weekend, and then he also had 20 return yards, only 44% owned. So maybe Tajay Spears could be a name to look at. If your running back went down and you need somebody to get you through the next week or two of the playoffs. Let's say you're a Chubb owner or something like that, and
yeah,
somebody's already got Jerome Ford, and you find
right,
yourself in a bind. You could do worse, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, let's see how serious it is with AK. He's got that groin
Yeah,
injury, so
true.
hopefully he'll be all
Yeah.
right. But you may need a little fill in, so that might be somebody to look at. I like it.
Yep.
Cause he looked good,
All
man.
right.
He was
Well.
out there. I got Pollard on one of my squads. Actually, the squad that's on bye. So it's kind of still pulling for Pollard, but it seemed like
Hmm.
Spears is out there quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. It did like he was catching a lot of grabs and running well with
Yep.
them. So he
Yeah.
was kind of playing that AK role.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's
All
move
right.
on to wide receivers, brother. First one I got on the list is Rashad Bateman for
Yeah.
the Ravens. In week 15, he caught 3 out of 5 targets for 80 yards and a touchdown. So he always seems to look pretty good when they're playing teams that can stop the run. Where LJ is forced to throw the ball. Bateman just
Mhm.
always kind of pops up and has a good game. That might be the case again. King Henry got stifled big time in the yesterday, and they're playing the Steelers next. So there's a chance that King Henry could get stifled again.
Yeah.
So yeah, something to think about.
Yeah. I like that one, man. I like that one. I thought it was 2 touchdowns. Was it just 1 touchdown?
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
thought he had
Yeah,
two
it
tutties,
could have been
man.
two. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I
Yeah,
only wrote down one, but okay.
yeah, I think it was, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like that pick, man. I like that. Um, cool, man. Well, I'll hit you.
How
I'll hit
about
you
you,
with
brother? Who you
Yeah,
got?
let me just kind of jump to this last one I threw on the list is Adam Thielen. I've been talking about him the
Okay.
last few weeks, but I've got three
Yeah.
stars on him. This is a little bit more of a
Hmm.
quiet week. He went 5 for 51, but he's been double digits the last 3 weeks. And
Yeah.
I think I think he's just going to keep that up through the rest of the year. He's somebody that I think you can plug in and come to expect anywhere from 12 to 20 points out of him. And if he gets a touchdown, you can be easily in that 20-point range with him.
Yeah. It looked like the Cowboys had their number, right? It was the Cowboys. They were playing the Panthers, right? It was
Yep.
Bryce Young. Is that his name? But
Yep.
anyway, it looks like the Cowboys D had his number. And I think they
Hmm.
were playing in Dallas, right? Or no, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they were in
No, they
Carolina,
were
weren't they?
in
But anyway,
Carolina. Yeah.
was it in? Yeah, Carolina.
Yep.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, the Dallas D looked pretty strong. I ended up playing Dallas D in one of my leagues, but anyway, I didn't get it done with my other players. But anyway, it's for another day to talk about that. But yeah, Adam
Yeah.
Thielen, he's been consistent. That's a good wide receiver to go grab. You said he's only what percent owned? I don't know, 50 something. So out there a
Yeah.
lot.
Let's see. He's
Okay,
56% owned. And
56.
then
Okay,
yeah, they've got Arizona coming up next. So that could be
yeah.
a little bit better of a matchup for him.
Yeah, very well could be. All right, next one I got is Christian Watson. He plays for the Packers. Only put 2 stars on Watson. Week 15, he caught 3 out of 6 targets for 56 yards, and so that's not a great performance. But Love was going deep to him a lot. If he would have caught some of those other three, I mean, he could have turned those. He could have easily turned in 100+ yard night and maybe a touchdown
Yeah.
had he just caught those balls. So Love was looking for him a lot. So that was encouraging to see how Love was targeting him in those situations. So
Yeah, I can
yeah.
kick his ass, man. If he would have caught that
Hmm.
the last pass of the game, or at least the
Yeah.
last like 2 minutes to go, I had a 4 pick 6, pick 'em, and all the other ones
Yeah.
hit. And I just needed
Oh
Jordan Love
boy.
to get to 241, and that would have done it.
Yeah. Oh, that would have done it,
Instead,
huh?
he just dropped the
Man.
ball, just flat out dropped it.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know. He's all
all
right.
right.
He's all right.
Yeah. Well, we've
Um,
seen him do special things before, so maybe he'll turn it on at this home stretch. So,
it
but
seems to
yeah,
be the
that's
way
why I
things
went with
go
two
for
stars
me,
on these guys.
So yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably going to ball out this next weekend. He's probably going to have like
Yep.
3 touchdowns and 100. He'll have a Devontae Adams type of week. you know.
Yeah, you never. Yeah, I think he's due. I do agree
Yeah.
with that, Craig.
Yep. Well,
Who,
cool, man.
who
Well,
else? Who else you got
one
written
of the
down,
things
brother?
that's catching my eye, man, is number 15 for the Bucks. With
Okay.
Godwin out, he's been stepping up. Now you got Evans
Yeah.
back, and so the ball's kind of getting around a little bit. And as they double team Evans, Jalen McMillan's been sneaking in there and getting some grabs. This last week he went 5 for 75, one tutty. I've got 2 stars on him, but he's
Yeah.
been fairly consistent, man. And Baker's spreading that ball around in the offense. I think probably going to look pretty consistent moving forward.
No, yeah. No, I agree that he's definitely a mouth to feed, but as
Yeah.
far as Evans, you can't cover Evans, man. He was one of my ballers, man. He scored me
Oh,
55
he balled
points.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He's
on
fantastic.
my yeah, the
Yeah.
team or the one I was on bye, and he balled out
Hmm.
against Air, for me. But
Yeah.
sure would like to see him repeat that this next weekend.
Yeah, same here, man. Yeah, I had
Can't go.
LJ ball out on the team. One of my teams I had to buy in, so
Yep.
47 points from Lamar Jackson, and yeah, I'm gonna buy.
Same.
But oh well. Yeah,
Yeah, same.
yeah,
It's all right. Do it again next week.
yes, exactly. So I'll round it out with Watson's teammate Romeo Dubs. 2 stars as well. Week 15, he caught 3 of 5 targets for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns. Only
Yeah.
38% owned. So he was the one catching all the touchdowns. So
Yeah.
that's why Watson didn't catch nothing because this guy's hogging them up. So just these two Packer receivers are really buyer beware. I mean, if you really need a wide receiver and one of your guys got hurt or something like that, then that's the only time I would recommend it. I wouldn't start
Yeah.
either of these guys over your regulars.
I think I would lean towards Dobbs over Watson.
Hmm.
Dobbs seems to catch more
Yeah,
touchdowns. Seems to be
true.
found in the end zone a little bit more. Seems to be a little
Yep.
bit more consistent. You know,
Yeah.
Watson's definitely hit or miss.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
yeah. Cool, man. Well, on to tight ends. What's your first one on the tight end list?
So this is a repeat from last week. Pat Fryermuth. I know I brought him up last week. He's plays for the Steelers. Week 15, he caught 3 out of 6 targets for 22 yards and a touchdown. 65% owned. He had a similar performance in Week 14. He caught 3 out of 3 targets for 48 yards and a touchdown. So this guy's been somebody you can count on for a touchdown. 2 weeks in a row. So maybe he'll
Yeah.
keep it going. Pat
Yeah.
Fryermuth.
Cool, man.
Two
Yeah.
stars. 2 stars on
I like
Pat.
it. Yeah, I agree. I think we both like this next one, Noah Gray. One,
Yeah.
possibly 2 stars, on him. I may keep it at that one because they may sit Pat Mahomes next weekend. So
Yeah, I
we may
think
have
so.
Carson Wentz starting. If I was them, I would. You're already that far out, 12-1. Save him for the
Yeah.
playoffs, man. Get him healthy.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
but he went 2 grabs on 5 targets, 21 yards. Also scored a tutty.
Yep.
19% owned. So, he's making his way in that offense, and he seems to week in week out be getting some production.
Yeah, this is another guy who's similar to Fryermuth in that he's been catching a touchdown, more often than not, when he
Yeah,
plays these games. So yeah, not a bad pick for to get a touchdown. So
yeah,
I like it. All right, so I'm going to round it out on the tight ends, Craig, with Brenton Strange, and so this guy plays for the Jaguars. I know their normal starter is it. I forget the guy's
yeah.
name,
Evan
but
Ingram.
anyway,
That's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
Evan Ingram. So
right.
he caught 11 of a dozen. So he saw a dozen targets and caught 11 of them for only
Wow.
73 yards. Only 2% owned. I actually played Brenton Strange in one of these daily lineups.
Okay.
Because he was so cheap. I think like
Yeah.
it was I don't know 4200 dollars or something like that on
Right.
DraftKings. So I actually played him, and yeah, he did pretty well. 11 out of
Nice.
12 targets caught. So
Beauty.
yeah, looks good. Yeah,
Yeah. If Evan Ingram
two,
comes back,
three
the
stars,
3 stars can
three
drop
stars.
to. Yeah.
No, I don't think Kevin Ingram's coming back. I think they said he had surgery or he's
Oh,
out
he's
for the
done with the
season.
season.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
man.
That's the
That,
only reason why
that
I brought this guy up. Yeah,
All right, all
yep,
right. Yeah, I think I dropped him for that Juno Smith, but I was running Evan Ingrams for a little bit this year. So, all right, well, cool, man. Well, that's a
yeah.
good one to look at. I like that one. I'm gonna go take a peek, see if I might need him on my squad.
Yep.
So,
All right. Well, let's talk about some D's to stream, brother.
yep,
Some matchups. So
yeah.
so I, I,
I
I went out
100% agree with this
there
first one.
in yeah, you like this next one? So,
Yeah,
I went ahead and picked up this defense on Sunday, right when one of my players locked in IR, so I can make a move, and I went in and grabbed the Packers because I had the Lions D, and I was thinking about playing them next week against the Bears, but I decided to drop them and then just go with the Packers because they're playing the Aints in
yeah,
week 16 at home. Only 50% owned for the Packers. The Packers D looked really good last
yep,
night, and they have their star cornerback coming back for next week. So playing at home, the weather might be a little cold, and so I think they're going to beat the crap out of the Aints, especially if AK ain't playing. And so
yeah,
yeah, they're probably going to feast. I think I got four
yeah.
stars on the Packer D.
Man, that's a bingo pick, man. I'm that almost
Yeah.
something to use a waiver wire pick on if you want. And
Yep.
like I say that, but it's tough this time of year. You got maybe 40% of your league that's in that that didn't make the playoffs, and they're not really out there trying to grab much of defenses and things like that. So may not be worth it, but I see that being a good play this weekend, brother. I like it.
Yeah.
I
Thank you, brother.
like it. Cool. Hit me with the next one, then I'll kind of run us out on this.
Okay. So I noticed that you were playing the Bengals over
Yeah.
this, yesterday in one of your leagues, and that was really smart of you, Craig, because they ended up kicking some butt in Week 15. They got 4 interceptions, picked up 2 fumbles, and scored on a pick six. Only
Yeah.
39% on the Yahoo side, and they play the Browns, at home in the jungle. So I
Yep.
think the Cincinnati Bengals I think we see my D here.
There it
Bengals
is.
D
I
gonna
like it.
gonna keep it going, brother. Yeah. So welcome to the
Yep.
jungle, Browns. Let's
That's
go,
right.
Jameis or whoever. Let's see. Yeah. So
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
stars on the Bengals D. Let's go.
Right. Either one of those quarterbacks is going to be throwing picks this next
Hmm.
weekend, so I like that one
Yeah.
too. I'll probably just
Yep.
hang on to them in that one league, and I'll go look at the Packers in the
For
other.
sure. Yeah.
This last one, the Colts are playing against the Titans, and it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you same thing. It doesn't matter if you got you know Will Levi's or whatever, or you
Hmm.
know
Yeah.
Rudolph. They're both throwing picks. They're
Right.
both terrible. So
Yep.
um, so it's kind of just a flyer play. But if you're a little bit
Yeah.
desperate, I think that's a good. It's a pretty strong play.
Yeah. Levi's looked terrible this past week. He really
Oh
had a
yeah.
meltdown. So yeah, he's circling the drain, fading fast. So yeah.
Yeah. He's working on becoming a car salesman next year.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tee off on Levi's and the Titans.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's round it out with some kickers, brother.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Chase is still the man, Chase McLaughlin, and he proved how great a kicker he is in week 15. He converted field goals and 4 extra points, only 49% owned. So he's out there in more than half of the leagues. We've been talking about him week after week after week after week. No one
It,
listens. But
yeah.
yeah, 4 stars on Chase.
Yeah. He should be 105% owned in every league
Yeah,
or
I
in
know,
every
right?
format.
Yep.
Like what the hell are
Uh
people
huh.
doing? There's not a better kid.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker is not better than
Oh, no.
Chase McLaughlin. Especially this year.
Yep.
The only
Agreed.
ones are is Boswell, who I'm rolling with in one of
Yeah.
mine. If he
Same.
came
So
through
am I.
again, and then Aubrey, and
Yeah.
Aubrey's pretty. He's just been solid all year. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, 100% agree with that, man. And if you can't find McLaughlin, then one to look at is Joshua Carty, man. He's playing the Jets. This is the Rams kicker.
Rams kicker.
Jets
Yep.
don't
Yep.
give up.
Yeah.
They give up, or not the Rams, but the Jets give up a lot of field goals. They'll let you get down the field,
Hmm.
especially with an offense like the Rams, but hold you to a field goal. So I can see him being a double-digit kicker this weekend.
Yeah. Totally agree, brother. And this is a text that I sent you over the weekend, and
Oh
it's
yeah, I
about
wish I
a
would have
butt
got that
kicker.
text.
Yeah, so I know, right? Harrison butt kicker, the Chiefs kicking job. Just I mean, not necessarily him as a person, but that the guy filling in for butt kicker, he scored double digit points most weeks, and he's only 52% owned for the butt kicker. So he's
Yeah,
been
both kicker got
historically a good
2
kicker.
points.
Yeah. He had a bad day at the office.
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs just weren't moving the ball very well, and that was a defensive struggle of a game. And so,
yeah,
well, without if Pat Mahomes sits, then yeah, probably better just going with Chase or Cardi. But
yeah,
I don't know, a name to know. I don't know. Yeah, on second thought, this may not be the best opportunity for him if there's no Pat Mahomes. So,
yeah. Definitely keep an eye on that one.
yep, yeah,
So
okay.
cool.
Well,
Well,
that's
you
it.
can always
That's it,
look for
brother.
Boswell, which he should not be out there,
Yeah.
but you can
No,
always
no.
look for him in your league. Um, and I know Brandon
But
Aubrey's not
Chase,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Chase is probably out there. He's out there in more than half the leagues.
yep,
51% he's out there. So
for
yeah,
sure.
make Chase your first priority. And if you can't find Chase, you can't find Cardi, you can't find the boss, then just roll the dice on the butt kicker.
Yep.
We'll see.
Cool.
All right.
All right, brother.
Well,
Well,
that's it, brother.
here we are.
Well,
This is the waiver wire that counts, brother. This is the one.
yep. This
This is
is
the one
it.
that counts.
This is it. Yeah.
Get you to, if you need to fill in some of those spots to get you to the Super Bowl, this is the time to do it. Hopefully you save some of those waiver wire picks too.
Yeah, this is it. Do or die. So,
Yep.
don't leave nothing to chance. Make sure you got a great defense. Make sure you got a solid kicker. Look at all the matchups. But play your studs. That's one thing
Yeah,
I always preach when it
that's
comes
right.
um, playoff time. Don't get cute and start thinking about weird
Yeah,
stuff. Just play with the guys that got you there, and hope for the best. So,
that's right. That's right.
yeah. Well, all right,
Cool.
brother.
All right, my
Well,
man.
good luck
Well,
to you. Good luck.
Same.
Good luck in your 3 playoff matchups, and I've got 2 to go, and so we'll be back at you on Monday night next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about some Super Bowl appearances for both of us.
Oh yeah. All right, brother. Good luck. Go get
All
you
right,
some good
brother.
players, man, and rock it out next weekend.
All right, my man. Well, good luck in the playoffs.
You too.
Peace.
See ya.